Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here. Welcome back to 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. We're going to be talking about Blue Demon Meliodas, and if you guys should be pulling for him. There's also new UR gear sets coming out for Escanor, Merlin, and Demon Meliodas himself, plus future ones, and a bunch of other things happening. So let's talk about all of that, starting off with Blue Demon Meliodas. So, Blue Demon Meliodas, what makes him so freaking good? I was going to use the 7 Deadly Sins forums, but 7 Deadly Sins forums are not really doing that great of a job to show the information. So, I'm going to jump over to the side on the database and go through here. Now, Demon Meliodas, his unique passive works really well with his kit, and he's more of like a greedy DPS because of this. So his unique passive doesn't really help anyone else in the party except for him, and it's really good because he's a one-man army. Now his first attack is a damage type, so meaning Gother can lock him out if it wasn't for his unique passive. Tough Will. If Meliodas has 4 or less ultimate move gauge orbs, attack disables have no effect on him. So why is this so freaking important? This is important because Demon Meliodas is constantly be using all of his abilities. If he's at 4 gauges or less, he can't be locked out. And once you're above 4 gauges, you're pretty much going to be throwing an ult. The only weak point that this is going to be where he's not going to do damage is if he's at 5 gauges exactly, because he's not near his ult or at his ult, and he's not below that 4 or less. So pretty much for the majority, he's going to constantly be attacking, and if he is above 4, he's probably going to do his ult next turn, and it's going to wipe out a bunch of people. So it works out very, very well that this Tough Will, it makes him that greedy DPS, but it's good because he's going to be doing so much damage. So what is his first ability? His first ability is Hellblaze, Enchanted Hellblaze. Now this inflicts pierce damage equal to 100% on the first rank, and then it carries on to 150 and 250, and both of his abilities are AoE, and that's really important. So this is really good for the pierce rate because he's got more pierce rate than Hauser. And you've guys seen Hauser's like AoE damage. It's kind of ridiculous, right? Well, right here, he's got 40% pierce rate, which is huge. So he's going to be doing a ton of damage. And when a feature character comes out, he's going to be doing even more damage on top of that. So first ability, AoE, lots of damage out there. And then you got Darkness Flutter. Darkness Flutter inflicts corrosion damage. If you guys don't know what corrosion damage is, it's additional damage at the end of every turn. So they're poisoned basically if you think about it. But the way this ability works, it's really, really good at 3 stars. So the first ability at 1 star, it's going to equal to 15% of remaining HP on all enemies for 2 turns. But at rank 3, it's going to go from 20% to 20% of max HP. So the first 2 ranks is remaining HP, where the 3-star one is max HP. So if they're at a little bit of HP, and you throw a 3-star rank card there, it's going to do a ton of damage. So this is really, really good. In PvP, pretty much you're going to be doing constant damage. You're going to be able to like always make him have to cleanse his stuff off, especially if it's a 3-star ability. But inflicts corrosion damage equal to 20% of max HP on all enemies for 3 turns. Huge, man. Freaking huge. So really good character for DPS when it comes to PvP. He's going to be really good. He is a pull if you care about PvP, and he is one of those characters that carry on even further into PvP once Blue Lilia drops, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But his ultimate is just like Red Demon Meliodas. You've got by himself, inflicts weak point. It's 3 times damage against debuffed enemies, and pretty much it's a huge amount, 385% or 440%. So not as strong as other ults, but still pretty good. Combined is Merlin. Now a lot of people use Merlin. Your Escanor uses Merlin, so keep that in consideration. If you're trying to run Escanor with this team, you're going to have to choose where Merlin's going. But Merlin, when combined with Demon Meliodas, is an extra crit of 19.2% rate. So an extra 19% there with the crit rate chance he already has is pretty good. Crit chance is at 50 with Merlin. That's 69.2. That's pretty decent on him. Now, for his cosmetics and everything else, he's going to be killer in geared and ungeared PvP, and he's going to work a little bit in Red Demon as well for your DPS. So that's pretty much why Demon Meliodas is so freaking strong. Pure AoE damage, great farmer. If you guys don't have a good farming team yet, if you don't have Hauser, if you do have Hauser, both of them combined is really fast farming because he's got all AoE attacks. Works really, really well. So that whole pierce damage in PvP is also another reason why he's so strong. 40% pierce is huge, and he just gets better with the cosmetics and if you build him as well properly. So with cosmetics being in mind, he does come along with the Dark Knight event, and what this is that there's 3 new cosmetics that are coming out right now for specifically Demon Meliodas, Merlin, and Escanor. Now, big thing, a lot of people don't know, because my last CC video, people were like, you have this cosmetic and that's not, that can only be purchased with money. No, these cosmetics come out for the first 2 weeks that you can purchase with money. After those 2 weeks, they're available for 30 gems a piece. So from 526 till 6/8, you can purchase it with money. After that, each of them will be available for 30 gems from 6/9 till 6/22. So as a free-to-play player, you just gotta wait, or someone who doesn't want to buy the cosmetics right away, the bundles, you can wait and purchase these for 30 gems a piece. If you want the headpiece, the weapon, and the armor, it's gonna cost you 90 gems per character. I'm gonna go over these characters in detail because these cosmetics are actually really, really strong. So Demon Meliodas himself, for the armor piece, he gets crit resistance by 7%, which is really nice. You can see that he's got the UR sets that are currently there. If you guys did get Red Demon Meliodas, you're ahead of the game, especially if you bought the UR set from the black pirate ones. I forget what they're called. I will just call them Red Seller event, like it says over here. If you guys did purchase that from Red Demon Meliodas, you now have an extra UR set compared to everybody else. And now if you get this one, that's another one. So that's the cosmetic for the chest piece. For the weapon itself is really strong because it's got a pierce rate of 7%. This is a must pickup. This is really, really good. Pierce rate 7% is huge. It has nothing else attached with it, but it doesn't matter. So make sure you purchase this cosmetic if you're planning to use Blue Demon Meliodas. And if you really care about PvP, he is going to be a beast now and later on once Blue Lilia comes out. There is going to be a counter for him. I'm going to talk about it. But for now, he's going to be just dominating a lot of PvP. Now, for his headpiece is a regeneration rate of 7%, which is not bad. Regeneration is always good. But the whole thing about these sets is that UR sets of HP 1410 are the biggest increase into your CC and also making characters survive. So if you had all UR headpieces, you have a better chance of your character not getting nuked down. It's a really good set to pick up for Demon Meliodas, so if you guys can, make sure to pick it up. Don't let it go by. It's going to be one of the best sets out there, especially for the weapon. That 7% is huge. Now for Merlin also gets a set right now, the Dark Knight set. When it comes to the chest piece, it gives crit resistance by 7%. Merlin's not really known for being a tank, so it's not really important, but it is another UR set that you can finally clean up and get a full set going on, I believe, or pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets there, and then we're gonna get that final boss battle, so you'll be able to get a 5-piece set for everything pretty much. Same thing goes for the weapon. The weapon is gonna be the Dark Knight one, has pierce rate by 7%. Merlin herself on her pierce rate is at 20, but you know, pierce rate always helps, so increasing it by 7% is really good. And if you don't have a lot of UR weapons on her, definitely a good pickup. And then for the headpiece, her headpiece is actually really good. It gives regeneration rate by 1% and recovery rate by 6%. For Merlin, that's really good, and 1410 HP is always a big bonus. So definitely another big pickup. I would think on Merlin, that's probably the most important, along with the weapon. Now Escanor also gets a Dark Knight event set, has a crit resistance of 7%. You've got the weapon, which has pierce rate by 7%, really good pickup. And then you've got the headpiece, which is regeneration by 7%. So if you currently have the previous sets that came out, the God set and the Red Sailor one, if you purchase this, you have 4 UR sets on top of your Escanor right now, which is really, really big. So having the ability to have 4 sets and 1 SSR is really good, and that's going to give you a little bit more of an edge against everyone else's Escanor if you decide to go for it. So these 3 sets are currently in the game right now, but you also got to think about if you do go for these with the gems, that is going to cost you a total of 270 gems. And in the JP side, the set was released on October 31st, but not too long after, there was 4 more pieces of this set released on November 13th. So not too far away. The next 2 weeks, there was another set on top of that for Diane, Bon, King, and Gother. And again, these sets are really strong. They're really good to put on those characters. So if you are thinking about pulling Demon Meliodas and buying the sets, just know in the next 2 weeks after that, there's another set, but then another 2 weeks for that set to go on sale for gems. So you do have time to collect your PvP gems and all the rewards rewards from Chapter 9 and whatever else happens between, logging in, but it is going to be hella expensive. So me personally, when I look at this, I'm looking at like, oh, 90 gems, 180 gems, 270, you know what I mean? Then you go for here, 360, 450. It just adds up very, very quickly. So if you're someone who's managing your gems, we'll be definitely talking about that in my Should You Get video. I'm going to talk about personally what I'm going to do and try to give you guys some tips on that. But that is a heads up of the future of what's happening. So to go along with Blue Demon Meliodas, back to the character. In the future, we're going to get a character called Blue Lilia. Now, you guys know Green Lilia. Green Lilia is a thing. That's a whole thing. But Blue Lilia in the future is going to come out, and why she's so important. One, she's a really good kit. We're going to talk about it in the future. But when Blue Lilia comes out, it increases all allies' pierce rate by 50% of the value of the hero's pierce rate. This is going to be really important because the combination of Blue Lilia and Blue Demon Meliodas is going to dominate PvP. So you're kind of like future investing and also present investing when it comes to Blue Demon Meliodas. He's very strong. Should you go ham right away with all the cosmetics and everything happening, you got to be careful. And there's also another character that shouldn't be too far behind that's also going to counter Blue Demon Meliodas. And that character is Valenti. Now, Valenti, why does it counter it? One, she is green versus blue, so extra damage there. Plus, it increases all enemies' pierce rate value by the hero's resistance at the start of battle. So that automatically counters those pierce rate teams. But the combination of all three of these put together is going to be very powerful as well, too. Blue Demon Meliodas, you've got the Blue Lilia, and then you've got Valenti here. That's going to be also a very powerful PvP team. The thing is, this character falls off later on as the meta goes on, but everything gets counters, everything goes on. It all depends about the present and what you want to do. So if you guys are saving and you're looking at the future, do what you got to do for the characters you care about, what you want to run. The powerful characters are going to be there. There's going to be counters, but so there's going to be counters for the counters. So just do what you guys want. You know what I mean? Red Escanor comes out. Red King comes out. You know what I mean? Then this Valenti gets screwed over because there's so many good red characters. It's all up to you what you guys want to do. So if you want to go for Blue Demon Meliodas, it's a really good pull. I'm not going to tell you guys to go full force on it because it is expensive. If you do get them and you had Red Demon Meliodas and you did pick up the Pirate one, the Seller one, cosmetics, then you are pretty much ahead of the game and you kind of do want this character. So if you don't, then you're also thinking to yourself, well, I'm not really that head. I'm missing cosmetics. That's not going to be too much of a thing, but it will make the difference. It's like having Escanor without these, all you need these cosmetics. So cosmetics make a big difference because once you have your equipment fully maxed out and the other person has their equipment fully maxed out, what makes the difference? The cosmetics are endgame when it comes to it. So be careful with your gems. Choose wisely at what you guys want to do. Everything else happening, there's some payable bundles that I wouldn't go for. If you do choose to, there is 60 gems on all the stuff to awaken the person and make it fully maxed out because we are getting level 80, so remember that. There's another bundle there you can purchase, and there's more bundles along with that that you can do. But there's also some free events coming out. The growth event is here. You have horns, wings. If you guys don't know, all you need is ears and wings to get your character to level 80. You don't need the demon horns. That's for the character previous levels. To get from 75 to 80, all you need is the ears and the wings. But I think a pretty big chunk, like 30 of these and 20 of these. I could be mistaken. So that's a little heads up. We do have other events coming on. We have one of those event wheels things again where you collect these tokens in the free stages, the boss battles, death matches, etc., etc. Then you get to use those for these prizes here. And then we have ourselves some new event stuff coming out, which is going to be half price and all that good stuff. So a lot of things to look forward to. Just make sure you guys are choosing wisely when it comes to everything. Demon Meliodas is here, but so is the cosmetics for all your previous characters. So make sure that you're ready to spend gems because Demon Meliodas is not guaranteed. You can spend all your gems, not get them, and then have no gems for the cosmetics, which would make a difference for the team you already have. So choose wisely. That's pretty much it, though. That's the update. There's a lot more I'm going to be covering on the Should You Get, the video where I'm going to go into more detail and what I'm doing personally. But I will be doing some polls, I think. I'm going to try to. I'm going to calculate all my gems and see what I'm going to get from PvP, Chapter 9, etc. and then go for that. But if I do polls, it's going to be over on twitch.tv/SmellyOctopus where I do stream live, and I will stream my polls live with everybody. So as soon as I decide to poll, I'll be there. If you guys want to join me, there's a link in the description. You guys can follow me, so when I do go live for those polls, I'll let you know on Twitter, Discord, and Twitch will notify you if I'm live or not. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.